All right, what is up, BYU fans, Big 12 fans, and anyone watching this video because you're a huge fan of college football? This is Joseph back with the Big 12 Football Digest, and today we are going to do a deep dive on BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff. He led them to an incredible season last year, huge bowl win against Colorado. And a lot of BYU fans are big fans of this guy and think he's, a big time quarterback. We're going to dive into it today, guys. We're going to do a deep analysis. We're going to look at his PFF grades, look at the stats behind him, really break down the numbers. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a grade, A to F. A being one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. F being one of the worst, right? Like one of the worst quarterbacks in college football, a guy that you're going to want to replace immediately. A being top notch, right? Like elite quarterback. So make sure you guys stick around to the end so you can see what his grade is. Also, as we go through the video, make sure you pay attention. And at the end, I'd appreciate it if you guys would comment down below what you think of Jake Retzlaff and what letter grade you would give him. I'd really like to know that. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We put out a ton of BYU content, a ton of Big 12 content. Yes, I am a Utah fan. It's no secret, but there is a lot of Big 12 content, big time BYU content coming out. So make sure you guys stick around. Also like the video if you appreciate the content, and let's go ahead and dive in and do our deep dive of Jake Retzlaff from BYU. Okay, guys, and the first thing we're going to look at is going to be the passing grades. Obviously, for a quarterback, passing is the most important thing, right? It's running is always great, and it can be a huge weapon for a quarterback, but it's kind of like a corner back that can't cover. A quarterback needs to throw just like a cornerback that needs to be able to cover. So let's take a look here at Jake Retzlaff. You can see the grades here kind of up and down, but overall graded out as a 74.7. So a very good grade, or a good grade overall in the season. You can see here against Colorado, pretty rough grade of 38. But what's most important, guys, this will tell us a lot. Not, a decent completion percentage, a little below average, but nothing terrible. A little rough, 57.6, a little rough. But as we go over here, guys, this is where the really good data is for PFF. I find a lot of people that are new to it just look at the grades, which you should look at the grades. You should take those into account. But these numbers matter a lot too. And for quarterbacks, the numbers that matter the most are big time throws and turnover worthy plays. And I'm going to give you guys some details. So a turnover worthy play is a play that, should be an interception, or it's a pass that could have been intercepted. Whether it was intercepted or not is a different story. And big time throws are really tough, deep downfield throws that you were able to make, or tight window throws, that sort of thing. And that's a big stat for high level quarterbacks. So let's look at Jake Retzlaff's stat line. 20 touchdowns, 12 picks, 57.6 completion percentage. Really doesn't look too bad. But when you do look at this big time throw to turnover worthy play percentage, it is a little more concerning, right? You look at this, guys, if these numbers were reversed, it wouldn't be amazing, but it wouldn't be bad either, right? If he had a big time throw of 4.1, that'd be a good big time throw percentage. And if you had a turnover worthy play of 3%, that'd be a little high, but not crazy. But what you see here is he has a big time throw of actually a 3.1 would be like pretty decent, but his turnover worthy play is pretty high, right? Pretty high, 4.1%. And it's higher than his big time throw. So he's making bad throws more than he's making good throws by a good margin. It's like 1.3. That's over 1.3 ratio. And so that's a bit concerning. You don't want to see that. You really don't. And what I'm going to do, guys, here in a second is I'm going to pull it up on the screen and give you guys an idea of where that would rank among his peers. He had 400 dropbacks. We'll go off the number 350. Okay, guys, so this is where he ranked among his peers on quarterbacks that had at least 350 dropbacks. So everyone in here has a good sample size. For turnover worthy play percentage, he was tied for the number 8 highest turnover worthy play percentage. Very concerning there, right? If you're a BYU fan, I think that number should scare you, right? Top 8 in turnover worthy play percentage. That's very, very high, very rough. Then you look at big time throw percentage, okay? We scroll down here, guys. You got to go down. There's total of 79 quarterbacks in this range. So when he was number 8, tied for number 8, that's very high. And then we look here. You look for big time throw percentage. He's 66th out of 79. So that's pretty bad, right? That's not where you want it to be. Now, I will say this: the big time throw percentage matters less than the turnover worthy play percentage. And what I mean by that is a quarterback doesn't always have to make big time throws. You can be a very good signal caller, a very good decision maker, and you're not making crazy throws all the time. Where the turnover worthy play percentage is very concerning. So if you're going to have a guy with a high turnover worthy play percentage, you're going to at least want him to make up for it with a high big time throw percentage. I hope that makes sense. But next, let's go ahead and look at Jake Retzlaff's rushing numbers. So looking at his rushing numbers, he was actually a really good running quarterback this year, 511 yards on the ground. That definitely means something. And what really impresses me is this: 21 carries of 10 plus yards, right? That is like legit. Like that means you're putting up some real rushing numbers if you have 21 carries of 10 plus yards. And this was on 91 carries. So a good amount of carries. And then over here, he did have 2 carries of 15 plus yards. You probably like that to be a little higher considering how many he broke away for 10 plus, but that's a little nitpicky. So really good running numbers. He averaged 5.2 yards a carry. Really, really good rushing numbers. And I'm not going to compare him to the rest of college football because I kind of know what that list looks like. And I don't think he'll look exceptional as a runner, but I do think those are very good numbers. And, he's a solid running quarterback, if not a good running quarterback. So good numbers for Jake Retzlaff running. The throwing's a little concerning. And stick around, guys. In a minute here, I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on Jake Retzlaff and give my final grade for you. Okay, guys, time to give my final thoughts and my final grade for Jake Retzlaff. Before I do so, though, I'd appreciate it if you guys would drop your comment down below. Give me your final grade on Jake Retzlaff, right? I'm going to try to be as impartial as possible. Again, I am a Utah fan, so there's a little bit of bias in here, so I'm not going to hide that. But Jake Retzlaff led them to a great season. That was a great season for BYU, so I'll factor that in as well. And I'd appreciate if you guys comment down below. Again, an F is a really rough quarterback that needs to be replaced right away. A C is a very average quarterback, not going to help you a ton, not going to hurt you a ton. And an A is going to be a top elite level college football quarterback. So let me know your thoughts down below. Also, like the video if you haven't already. That just lets me know you appreciate the content, help get it out to more fans of BYU, more Big 12 fans. I'd appreciate that. At least if you guys do appreciate the content, that mean a lot to me. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you're looking for content, we're putting it out, and it means the world to me when you guys subscribe. Let's talk about it. So my final grade for Jake Retzlaff, I'm going to give you my summary first, my final thoughts, then I'll do a final grade. Final thoughts. I think the throwing was worse than I thought it would be by a significant amount, right? His big time throw percentage was lower than his turnover worthy play percentage. And we looked at other quarterbacks in that sample size, and he was tied for number 8, right? Number 8 in turnover worthy play percentage. I mean, that's just really bad. There's not too many ways to sugarcoat it, right? That looks way worse than what the stat line shows. Also, like I mentioned, his big time throw percentage wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just compared to the turnover worthy play percentage, it was not good. It was a bottom 20%er, right? It was not a good look. So you got to factor that in, but I'm not going to judge him too much on the big time throw percentage. That's not what he's about. You could still be a good signal caller, good decision maker without a ton of big time throws, right? You could still make good plays and drive the ball down the field without making big time throws. But, when you factor in the ratio of big time throws to turnover worthy plays, it is hard not to be kind of critical of Jake Retzlaff. Also, a very good runner, 5.2 yards a carry, 91 carries, very talented rusher of the football. I mean, that surprised me a little. I didn't know he ran for that many yards. I knew he was a good rusher or a decent rusher, but I didn't know he was that good. So there's a lot to like and a lot to not like, right? So Tough situation here. I'm definitely torn in a lot of ways, but I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to give him a C. Okay? C flat. And that is if he can do that again this year, right? If he can do it again this year, he will be a C quarterback. Now, if he can't run for a bunch of yards and he can't continue to make drives happen, that turnover worthy play percentage is going to kill BYU season. And he'll get replaced before the season's over. I damn near guarantee it. But if he can, get that down a little, maybe bring up the big time throw percentage, his grade could be better. I thought he was going to be the worst quarterback in the Big 12 this past year. So, is what it is there. But you dig into these numbers, it's hard to argue with that, guys. And if you're a BYU fan and you're upset that Jake Retzlaff has a C grade, I'd love for you guys to comment down below. What is your grade for him? I'm trying not to be too critical. I think it would have been very easy for me to give him a C minus or a D, but I didn't because of the running ability and because of the fact that they did win games and he did show up in a lot of clutch moments. But with that turnover worthy play percentage, I can't mark him anything higher than average. That would just be dishonest and disingenuous. So before we get out of here, guys, make sure you smash the like button, whether you agree or disagree with Jake Retzlaff's grade. Smash the like button. Comment down below. What do you guys think? What is your grade for Jake Retzlaff? And hit the subscribe button so you always know when we drop new videos. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys watching it. Appreciate you guys joining in the comment section. I'm out of here. Go Big 12.